Guess who's back from the dead?
Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. So I haven't been uploading for a while. That's mainly because I've been busy with a lot of schoolwork and I've been sick for the past week. But I've tried my best to work on videos while I wasn't uploading. I'll try and upload more frequently. So today's video, I'm gonna continue the series I did last time of like building tricks. But this time, I've decided to focus on middle and medieval builds, which are basically the same. I might do a part 2 about this because this kind of architecture is pretty complicated and there's a lot of different styles, so I might make an update video about this somewhere along the line, but this is just the basic tricks for maybe like a village or something. So yeah, the first thing I'm gonna show is the walls and turrets and exteriors. So usually the setting for these medieval builds are in forests, like spruce forests. So if you're gonna make it yourself, you might want to add a lot of trees surrounding it, but you can also add a wall surrounded with turrets. Now these turrets, I made them connected, so it would connect like this, which can also form the walls. Now turrets, it doesn't matter how you build them, they just need to be tall and have windows like these because of arrows and firing and stuff. You can place these as borders in a wall, but you can also build them separately, like scattered everywhere by themselves. This is the palette that I use. Now, next part is just the basic medieval house or building. Now, you'll see in a lot of them that there's gonna be framing, intricate framing of like X's. Now, since you can't really find that in Minecraft, that's gonna be hard to replicate. You can just frame like these, just use spruce logs to outline builds like this. Another feature of medieval builds is that there will usually be an upper area, which is usually white, so I used snow for this, and the bottom or like ground floor, which can also act as an elevation, is made out of cobblestone, just like this. Now you can also use, like in this house, I made it like dirt floors, but it's fine if you choose either wood or dirt, but like the ground level is usually gonna be a little bit less depth like the others, so you can add designs like cobwebs, add spruce stairs and planks, make it a bit rugged and detailed like this. And then top area will usually look like this. You can add several floors. The roof is gonna be made out of dark oak stairs. You can be very creative with this. This is just a really basic technique for these builds. And one of the important builds for a medieval village is gonna be a tavern. So usually they're gonna have the same style as this, you know, the cobblestone ground and then the snow or the white top layer. So taverns will usually just act like bars, so you can add other designs and tables, like the bottom floor like this. You can even add designs inside like barrels and lanterns. Now the upstairs area will usually be a bedroom, usually for like the guy who runs the place, so you can be very creative with that, you know, just add beds, tables, just like a personalized bedroom for the second floor. If you've seen restaurants and houses, you're definitely familiar with this kind of thing, or like shops. Sometimes there will be shops at the floor and then the upstairs will be the residential area for the guy running the place. Now next build, this is like a market or a market square. You can usually add a lot of very intricate designs. Now the road I've added is very varied. You don't need to just make it like this, even though I've added designs like coarse dirt and dirt path. If you want a design floor, you can just add gravel and stone, buttons, cobblestone. Just mix that together in an organic way and it'll look very good. It'll be a nice upgrade to your roads. I'm pretty sure I added this in a Japanese tips video for a different build, but this is just generally a fancier path for things. Also, sorry if my voice sounds really bad. I am extremely sick. So, usually you'll find stuff in Market Square. This is what a very basic stall will look like. I have a texture pack for invisible item frames, so you can get creative with that. But even if you don't, that's fine. They'll usually have a wool roof like this. It's kind of like a wooden or like old version of like bake sale, like little shops where it's like a plastic table and then there's just stilts with a little roof. You know, some of those you can find them in like fairs, Girl Scout stuff, whatever. Usually there will be merchants like fishermen, farmers. You can even do animal trading. I've added also like an oddity shop because I always like adding these in my medieval builds. You don't have to, but it's pretty cool. You can add a lot of just exotic random stuff. The last like build I'm gonna show you is gonna be a large scale build, or in this case I've used a church as an example. This is a very basic kind of build. I used the designs from a Minecraft book about medieval builds, so I don't know if I can leave a link to a book, but I'll definitely cite the name. Now, I made a disclaimer in the beginning about like how medieval builds are very complicated and there's a lot of different styles because, yeah, there are different styles from different periods. So there's like Romanesque, Gothic. Each area in Europe also has their own kind of style. I kind of added a little bit of both Romanesque and Gothic. I'll get into that a lot in a different video, but for now this is just a very basic example. Now, churches like these would have very angular roofs, like upside down V's like this. You can add blocks and stairs like that, it'll look better. Inside, I just use a cobblestone floor, some designs like wooden logs and a carpet, you know, that usually runs along the middle of a church. And then an elevated spot for all the altar, the priest, all that good stuff. I added a lot of views or chairs, which will usually look like this. And this is just a very simple sign for it. You can just add chairs here, maybe for like ministers and stuff. Now, the outside, I'd like to talk about this a lot. You can add stone for like just the basic outline. I don't know why I added this, but for like designs like statues or windows, you can add framings of stone brick. Now, the roof will usually have just mainly wooden roof, but then an outline of stone brick like this. It makes it a lot better. And then adding a lot of windows works too. You can also add, I don't know what these are called, but like add somewhat of, I don't know, a rib cage. I'll probably ask my editor to add the definition of this in post editing. But this is kind of like a rib cage, maybe like little pillars support this. It'll make it very 3D and designed. You can also add bigger ones and detailed ones like on the big part of the church, and will make it look a lot better. Now, these are all the builds I'm gonna feature. By the way, this is the palette I used. These are all the major builds. Now, I'm just gonna go into some designs. You've probably seen them around the village that I added. Just designs that you can use just to spice up your building, make it look really good. You can add carriages like these. Just use slabs like these. I only have a texture pack for wooden trapdoors, but oak trapdoors would look really good. Fence gates can be used for handles. They can carry stuff like barrels barrels, hay bales, chests, and other stuff. And you can add signs which can act as a little like wall or barrier. It will look good. You can also leave just piles of stuff like this. Another thing you can add is just lit out campfires. They can look like stacks of firewood left outside next to barrels or hay bales. Now for lighting, you can also use little lampposts like these or just leave them on top of hay bales. I think this also looks really good. Placing them in a simple lamppost like this can also work. In these two designs, you can also add signage like this. But if you want better signage, you can also make message boards like these. I also got these from the Minecraft book. If you want to make it fancy, you can make it look like, I don't know, a grave on the side. Add lanterns on the side, it'll look really good. Now this is kind of an advanced example for storage. You can make little buildings with gates, and you can just add all your stuff, protect it with a wall, add a little roof as a little storage shed. And you can also add massive piles of giant spruce logs or oak logs and then make them look like they're bound to the ground using rails like this. It's a really cool design. I very much recommend it. For builds, medieval builds weren't very treated properly. You're gonna see some levels of dilapidation, so you can add cracked blocks, mossy blocks. You can even incorporate cobblestone into stone bricks. That works very well. And you can even add that to the bottom level of the ground buildings as I showed you. And for flooring or rows, you can see that I already introduced it. And yeah, that's basically it for now. This is just a very basic dive into medieval builds. I'm gonna make a sequel to this. It's gonna be more detailed. Again, I'm very sorry for not uploading much. I'll do my best to try and upload. But for now, this is kind of it. So I hope you learned something. If you have any more suggestions for series or other YouTube videos like this, you can leave them in the comments. I read all of them. So please don't be shy to add suggestions. And I will see you guys in the next video. Salutations. Wait, that means hello. I mean...